All right, futures traders, let's take a look at what we have coming up for the new session. So gold gold is currently in a bullish uptrend. So no questions about what's going on, right? We basically retested these highs right here, right? And now we're back in the trend of making higher lows, higher highs, higher low. So now I'm anticipating a higher high, unless market makers are planning on trapping people. I don't know. Seems kind of obvious, which I think it's fine. Anyway, so if you look for the day, right, we have this hammer candle that basically formed after dipping into this daily fair value gap, and it wicked all the way back up. So that shows buying pressure, right? And then we see that, so what was that? That was the daily. We close higher on the weekly. So again, bullish indication. We do have a long wick at the top, but still we close higher than the previous high. Dropping down to our 4-hour. This almost looks like a head and shoulders, but I don't really pattern trade gold much, right? That this would be the last high. This would be a head. I don't know if I'm willing to go off of that. I am going to take what price action is showing me. We touch this trend line, right, into this fair value gap, and we're back up. That's the daily candle that turned into that hammer. So now we're doing this thing on a lower time frame, and I'm going to show you. So we're moving sideways, yes, sideways movement. And as you go lower and lower, you see price kind of signaling what it wants to do. Like, look at this. I feel like come market open tomorrow, oopsie daisy, I feel like we are going to break out, which we kind of already did, to continue higher. So these highs up here should get taken out. The fair value gap that was on the 15-minute, right? So basically we closed above the 50% mark. So this has been invalidated, right? We came back down, bounced up, came back down, bounced up. Now it looks like we're about to push higher. So I am bullish. I would like to long this above what is that? 46,001. Yeah. So 46,000, sorry. 4,601.2. I would like to go long if we break, retest, go. We could also dip into this fair value gap and take the liquidity there to go higher. Let's see, what else do we have that we could use as support down here? There's one here. Long story short, my bullish is bias for gold come market open, so we shall see what happens. My orb trades have given me a 78% win rate. The first 15 minutes of the market open, I would go in the direction of price action, and I noticed that usually before the move actually starts, it'll wick above a high or a low and then proceed. And I'm starting to think that this is an actual thing. So again, I will wait for more trade data to assess whether or not this is something I can use moving forward. Okay, so that's gold bullish, long above 4601.2, or if we come back into this support area here with these fair value gaps, I might long from there. NQ on the weekly there are tariff talks from Trump and the European Union, I think, because he wants to take over Greenland or something like that. So the market might open and go lower, or just open lower in the first few minutes, hour. I'm not sure like how low we'll go, but we'll work with whatever we're given. So like I was saying in the options watch list video, this isn't screaming and bearish, right? We have not lost any of these lows as yet. We just haven't been able to violate and hold above these highs. So I guess currently you could say this is a no trade zone, right? Like right here, where we're bouncing back and forth, unless you're scalping from the trend line up and then selling down. I don't feel like doing that. It's too much work. I will wait and see what the market presents to us. As always, in my or on my chart, I always have the previous month's high, right? So that's 26,046.25. Previous month's low, you can just go on the chart and look these up yourself. So previous month's high and low, previous week's high and low, previous day's high and low. And then any fair value gap that I see that could be a obstacle to price, if we break a certain level, I always put them down. Currently, majority of them are to the downside, so price will come down to these and literally just bounce off of the top, or bounce off of the center, or the very lowest portion of the FVG. And the same applies to when we're coming from below. It'll bounce off of that, bounce off the center, or bounce off the top. Sometimes it'll break above the first line, use it as support, break above the middle, use it as support, and continue. I simply wait for liquidity to be swept from a high or a low. I look for displacement, right? Usually there's a fair value gap that's left in the center. Price retraces, and then I take it long, or price retraces and I take it long, or it retraces from the below and I take it short. That's basically the gist of it. We shall see what happens. I am not going to chart platinum because I don't think any of you traded except for me. ES and NQ run in sync, those pairs. Silver I'm not going to chart either because silver and gold usually do the same thing for the most part. YM I don't trade. Oil I rather kill my own mother than touch this again. Like, this thing is just annoying to figure out, and I don't have the bandwidth for it. So that's all I'm watching for now.